to the public for open comments. And I can only tell you how corrupt the process has been since the beginning and how parents have been pushed out of that process. But for time's sake, let's jump to May of this year, when the national media began to take notice of the lessons and resources that were made available from Westfield School District that caught fire around the country because how controversial and age inappropriate they were. So on May 4th of 2020, the State Board of Education had their monthly meeting, and at the State Board of Ed meeting in May of this year, this is what the Commissioner, Angelica Allen McMillan, said at the May 4th meeting at the State Board of Ed. I want to be clear, the DOE has positive relationships with local school districts. We're going to work with them to make sure they implement the standards in a comfortable way. If a district is not meeting the mark, we'll convey that information to the district. At worst, a district will lose a few points on their QSAC score. That's coming from the Commissioner of Education. Take note, there's no threat of funding being taken away. There's no code of ethics charges being addressed. There's no loss to the community. It is simply a QSAC score, nothing else. Furthermore, at that same meeting, when they were discussing these lessons that were in the national media, like the Amaze videos being recommended by the Old Bridge Education president, those videos, she said this, the Commissioner of Education, there were some lesson plans and other support materials that I personally, as a mom, as a former teacher, administrator, and board member, would not select for me or my children's classrooms. That would not be my personal choices. Those choices, board, are the very videos you have in your curriculum from Amaze. So the Commissioner of Education would urge you not to adopt this curriculum guide with these videos inserted in there. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Scott Mazzella. I'm an actual teacher in the district. I teach in Jonas Salk Middle School. I teach U.S. history. I'm a patriot. I love this country. It's why I teach U.S. history. I'm a Roman Catholic. I grew up Roman Catholic and all the lessons. I went to Catholic school. Graduated of Christian Brothers Academy. I'm an Eagle Scout. I stand here in support of all of my students, including my LGBTQ plus students. I made a mistake in CBA by carrying what I thought was a cross. I was so adamant about laying it into this kid we all thought was gay. I knew I was right. Surely everything I was learning in school, religious-wise, told me I was correct. I carried not a cross from that point on, but a boulder. All the way until I was an adult, I carried this weight, and it ate on me. How I did this to a student, a friend. I reached out to that person as an adult a couple years ago to ask forgiveness for what I did to him in high school. He didn't remember what I did to him in high school, but I felt better having unleashed that boulder and all that weight. I fear that there's a lot of you picking up boulders tonight and not crosses. It scares me for what my students have to hear. There was a time when I didn't care about any of this. We had a whole bunch of transgender students who came into our faculty meeting after school one day, and boy, were they the bravest people I've ever seen in my life. They came in front of teachers, knowing full well we didn't know that we didn't know what they were going to talk about. They taught us why they were doing what they were doing. I was so moved by that, and by all the people in my career as a journalist before I was a teacher, and all the people in education who were part of that community who treated me with nothing but welcomeness and love, even though I was a regular heterosexual married guy, there's no difference. They're just good people. And I feel like we're vilifying them when you get up to this microphone and you say that just excluding a whole portion of our society because it doesn't match your ideals.
Portion.
Let him speak, please. I am protecting your kids, too.
Let's have an order here.
I teach the values and ideals of the U.S. Constitution. I don't teach your kids LGBTQ anything, but I do have a sign in my room that says they're safe with me because I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to talk about it at all. But they're safe with me and all my colleagues. Okay? So I'm up here because I want you to have an open mind. We're good people. All the teachers here are really good, solid people. Okay? I don't know where you're getting all this stuff from. We're your neighbors and your friends. And we want what's good for your kids and our kids and everybody.
Where are we getting
Okay,
it
so that's
from?
what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Denise Barrett. I didn't think I would speak, so I'm really nervous. I am a pediatric occupational therapist. I have a background in child development. This health curriculum is not developmentally appropriate. Children are not cognitively or emotionally ready for this sexual information. We are pushing information that children are not ready to understand or should understand. We keep pushing children to learn information earlier and earlier. We have children sitting in kindergarten learning how to read and do math when their bodies aren't even ready to sit for that long. Never mind learn this information. Now we're pushing them to understand sexual content that they are even less ready for. Children are losing their innocence and their childhood.